Behind the mask.
Is the U back? Yeah, you heard me correctly. Is the University of Miami back? I don't know, but I'm gonna call in one of my partners, man, and we gonna tap in with him and really see like what's really going on. Because when I look at the tape, especially on the defensive side, just seeing what they're doing, mangy, relentless, dogs. They giving me some reminiscence of, the early 2000 teams, the late 80s teams coming up in the 90s. Yes, them boys playing mangy. Ruben Bain, I see what you doing over there, Doc. I see you. Okay, Carson Beck, we already know. He was a huge shot in the arm for them, huge. And one of the things that they love to do at the University of Miami, especially with Coach Cristobal, he believes in no team can ever be built if you don't build it inside of the line of scrimmage. Offensively and defensively, he's done that. He believes in 3 and 4 yards cloud of dust, meaning run the ball, regardless of how many people are inside that compacted area. And he'll live to find out how to get the first down on 3rd and 2, because you excel at being able to get the short yards when it means most. So with all of that being said, I like Miami, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to go to Doak Campbell Stadium and walk away with the win now, because this young man that goes by the name of Castellanos, I love him. With the addition of the offensive coordinator, Gus Malzahn, his hurry up methods, which doesn't allow defenses to be able to call a blitz and blitz when they want to. You have to blitz when it's an incomplete pass or a timeout. It gives them more time to relay the call defensively. So I like Gus Malzahn teamed up with T. Castellanos because they present a bigger problem that a lot of defenses in America really can't figure it out. And as we've seen the first 4 weeks, nobody has really stopped them. Defensively, they had a breakdown last week, but ultimately, offensively, they're going to score points. They're going to find the mismatches. They're going to go high tempo and be able to find the defensive side not being able to communicate. One guy may be blitzing and another guy's supposed to blitz or having another guy in man. And because they run that high tempo, they'll catch you at the snap. Big play is waiting to happen. So I like that combination of them together. They've really taken off. Florida State defensively has always competed. They've always had great athletes. I think about Derwin James. I think about one of my childhood, guys who really inspired me. Bo Brooks, Derek Brooks, Hall of Famer. So I think of these guys, all of these guys went to Florida State. Peter Ward is another guy. Peter Boulware, Ron Dugan, shout out to my partner, Ron Dugan. So Charlie Ward, Heisman Trophy winner. So Marvin Shade Tree Jones, listen, I can go for days, but this matchup is huge. And let me tell you why it's huge. If you look at Miami alone throughout the 80s and 90s, Miami has over 10 Hall of Famers. 10 Hall of Famers just come throughout the 80s and 90s. Now they have more, but 10. You get teams or even college teams who are lucky to have 1, max 2, but over 10. When I think about College Game Day not even showing up to one of the greatest rivalries of all time that goes back to 1951, man, how can you not be a part of the party? Oh, but you won't take that party and you won't go over to Vanderbilt and Alabama? Come on, man. What we talking about? We talking about the U. And I officially can throw up the U. I got my MBA from the U. But I'm just saying, big significance. This is a big game. And this game alone had so much influence from kids in the South, kids all over America who wants to play big time collegiate football. And I can go on and tell you how much this game means, but I think it's only fitting that your boy call in one of his partners to let you know what it felt like to be a Miami football player, and a damn good one at that, and let you know what it means to him. Let's see, can we get Clinton Portis on the line? CP, what's up, my dog?
What's good, bro? How you doing?
Man, outstanding, man, outstanding. Before we even exchange any pleasantries, I gotta ask you the question, bro. Is the U back?
They on the way, man. They on the way. They're above Auburn and Ole Miss. I know Toot's sitting right beside you, smiling. So they're above Auburn and Ole Miss at this point. We still got to finish out the season. Long season ahead. A lot of games left, but I think what they're establishing within the trenches, which Coach Cristobal always discuss, is they're becoming dominant front on both sides of the ball. And normally when you have that, as we've seen in Georgia, Alabama, the teams has been winning consistently. Ohio State in their championship eras where they dominate, and that's in the trenches.
So I want you to take me back to, I agree with you on that, but I want you to take me back to your first Miami, Florida State game, man, because people don't understand and realize the significance of not only what this did to college football, but the influence of what it did to younger kids who grew up in the South. You're not even from the state of Florida, you're from Mississippi, but talk about the influence of what that game did for you for your first time playing in it.
So for me, I grew up in Gainesville, Florida. I was born in Mississippi. I grew up in Gainesville, Florida. So the importance of Florida to college football, FSU, UF, and Miami was always huge. If you won the state of Florida, you were normally in the national championship. If you go back and look at those years, Florida State, Miami, or UF was in a national championship. So winning the state of Florida was big. And now that all three teams are back of relevance, for us to go up to Tallahassee to Doak Campbell, my freshman year, I remember going up. It was really going to be my real first opportunity to play in a big game. I think we played them week 5, and I was excited, and felt like, boy, I'm about to show out. Like, this is an ABC game. It's all about Clinton. I'm going off, and I think I got one play, and I was wide open. I remember running my swing, and the quarterback got sacked, and I'm clapping and looking like, come on, man, I'm wide open, throw me the ball. And coach snatched me out of the game and cursed me out. And I'm like, man, I'm wide open. He said, yeah, but you went the wrong way. And the person who sacked the quarterback was my protection. And that was my introduction to how big of a game that was. And James Jackson ended up having to play the entire game because coach felt like I wasn't ready, because given that opportunity, I made one mistake and didn't play again. So my next time, my sophomore year, I was hurt when we finally beat Florida State down in Miami. My junior year was the only year that I got an opportunity to be a part of that game. So we were back in Doak Campbell. It was going crazy. Both teams were really good at the time. We just so happened to be building one of the greatest team of college football history, and didn't know it. But that was my only real opportunity to play in Doak. I only had 1 year, but it was live. It was everything. Listening to that chant the entire week leading up to the game. By the time you get there, it's just null and void. You tune it out because you're so familiar with it. So I hope they kept that same tradition, playing the chant all week, making the guys annoyed and frustrated with it. And when they get to Tallahassee, it has no effect on us at all.
All right, so after giving your great analysis and just really painting a beautiful picture of what it meant to play in this game, bro, I need to know, like, What's the final verdict, man? What you see the score? What you think it's gonna be?
Man, I hate that Florida State lost last week. You know, it kind of took some of the steam off the game because you want them to go in undefeated. UVA played a great game and came away victorious. So it kind of dampened. You know, it's easy to say Miami. You know, of course, Miami undefeated FSU coming in with their loss coming in off a loss. But coming out of the bye week, I think we got an opportunity to get healthy. Again, we got to win the trenches, which UVA did a good job moving the ball around. So that gives me hope that we can get downhill and protect the quarterback. I think we come out victorious, even if they didn't lose last week. I still thought we were going to be victorious, but we come out victorious just because our fronts, our trenches dominate on both sides of the ball and allow our playmakers to shine.
I'm glad you brought that up because yeah, Florida State they took that L last week in Virginia, even though you guys were off. But like, make this make sense to your boy and the rest of America. How in the hell College Game Day is gonna take the bus, the RV, and everything else, the big production, take it to the Alabama Vanderbilt game versus coming to the the epic dog, the epic stadium of Doak Campbell, bro. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think FSU again that loss kind of dampened the move. If FSU handle business, then game day is definitely on set. You know, game day is definitely there. But you know, with Alabama coming off the big win and Vanderbilt playing the way that they've been playing, it's SEC, man. You know, y'all get more credit than you deserve.
Hey man, you settle down now.
Oh man, the SEC is this, the SEC is that.
What about the
Oh, the
Big
greatest
Ten?
team. The greatest team of all time came out of the Big East. That's all I got to say. And that's not even in existence.
Well, that may be the reason why it's not in existence anymore. Hey, bruh. Hey, man, I appreciate the time, my dog. So soon we want to get you on. I know you up there and your coaching duties. How's everything going at Delaware State?
Man, it's an everyday battle, man. You think our battles was something dealing with these kids, man, it's great though. Being able to have an effect, being able to see kids grow in front of you, hopefully getting these guys the exposure that they need to get to a bigger school or get to the next level and play in the NFL one day would be outstanding. So I think that's what our task and our duty is. That's what's been placed upon us, and getting these guys that look or that opportunity would be great. So it's just one of those keep grinding, don't worry about what you don't have, control what you do, and get the guys where they need to go.
CP, before we let you go, I got to ask you this one question. I've admired your whole career just because you've always been the dude that was aware of what's going on and the magnitude of how high it was at the moment. But now you take a big step, you go into the coaching world to coaching these young men, young boys, and turning them into men. What's the one thing, since you've been so astute and aware in the past, what's the one thing that you've seen come out of this coaching, out of your coaching experience so far, that you did not realize that it created such a big impact for the kids?
Man, you know, being vulnerable and showing love, it's been the biggest, you know, like being able to be vulnerable with kids and talk on their level and then showing kids tough love because often you don't realize how many households don't have a male figure or a male voice to kind of help guide these young men. And just realizing they need that tough love or they need love, period. You know, having a space to vent, having a real conversation, having real talk means more to these kids than any X's and O's, shaping them in the potential to be fathers or business owners or whatever it is in the future. is greater than the X's and O's. The X's and O's is easy conversation. I think everything else, the life lessons you teach, the hard work that you instill, the discipline that you begin to instill, and then also being vulnerable after having all the success that I've had personally. Being able to have that resume to bring in, then you have to prove to kids like, yeah, I did this. It's not about the resume you had on the field or off the field. Kids want to see right now, like how does this affect me? How does this help me? And is it true? So being true to kids and being real with kids, being vulnerable to kids and showing love, I think has been the biggest effect that I've had.
Bro, I appreciate your contribution, man. It means a lot. And you always can call on your boy if you need me to come up and talk or do whatever, my dog.
Hey, anytime, man. Once Auburn relevant and I could find some film that ain't in black and white of you and Toot, then I would love to tell the kids about you. Right now, we can't find any film on you. I can't tell them about you. If I say Takeo Spikes or if I say Toot, they don't know. Hey, man, Toot and Reyes, they don't know who I'm talking about. So if y'all can find some film that's not black and white, some colored tape where you don't have, no teeth in your mouth and you got a face mask, and send it to me so I can show these guys it's all played and I know you.
Hello, you still there? CP, we lost you. You get your ass off my phone. You almost had a great interview. Goodbye. All right, bro.
Yo.
All love, fam. CP, hey, boy. When I see you this offseason, I might fly out to Delaware and damn slap the dog shit out of you. You keep this type of behavior up. All right? But I appreciate you, my dog. We appreciate you at the BTM podcast. And thank you for giving us this insight, man, because oftentimes when people don't play in it or somebody else carries the narrative, they gonna present it to you in a way to where you really can't feel the essence. So thank you, CP, for allowing us to feel the essence of what it means to be in one of the greatest rivalries, even though you guys kind of been irrelevant over the past few years. But nonetheless, thank you. Now that we got CP up out of here, I appreciate it. But what I don't appreciate, you talking about, oh, well, when you use some film that's not black and white, and CP, settle down. Let me remind you, we're the same age, bro. Maybe give or take 1 or 2 years. Number two, he was a baller. And baller, explosive. But he ain't get 100 now when we played against him. That's just what it is. Well, I'm not going to be like, well, we did. No. I was on him. Tattooed. Yeah. No ink. Just bruises. You already know what it is, CP. I'm going to see you in a few months, partner. Now that we have heard from the horse's mouth, I need your tape. You heard my tape. Is the U back? I don't know. Maybe. But I like what I'm seeing. But I also like what I'm seeing from Tommy Castellanos and Gus Malzahn, that offense from Florida State. Let me hear from you. What do you think? Is the U back? Do they have that swag? Would love to hear from you in the comments. We got to talk about the college football rankings. Like, this is a big deal. Big deal this week because I see somebody who I have never seen in the top 5. Okay, let me round out the top 5 for you and see if you can see who I'm talking about. Number 1, yes, Ohio State. Number 2, Oregon. Number 3 goes to the U. Number 4 goes to Ole Miss. And number 5 goes to Oklahoma. Now, let me give you my take. All right. First of all, this is why this matters. Number one, as a player, I just want to take you behind the mask, play on words. As a player, we look forward to this because whether we believe it or not, I'm going to say we believe it or not, our coaches would get up in front of the meeting room and say, don't be reading papers. Don't be believing the hype, because as soon as they give you a massage, they're going to punch you in the back of the head. Well, you know what, coach? I like those massages. And that's the realistic part of it. So, did you figure out who was that foreign team that we have never seen inside of the top 5? And that would be formerly the name of Ole Piss, but they go by Ole Miss today. Yes, Ole Miss is in the top 5. I'm very proud of them. I've been on Ole Miss bandwagon for 3 years now. A lot of it is due to an Ole Miss alumni, my partner, Tutan Reyes, you know, and I had a chance to sit down and talk with him. And he told me, he said, look, all of y'all are hyped up because we beat LSU. Just like Lane said, we got it. And he felt very confident that Ole Miss would be able to do it. I've been a fan of them when they went out and got Pete Golden, defensive coordinator who came from Alabama. And I knew immediately, because of just knowing football and looking at them play, defensively, that was the thing that held Ole Miss back, right? And they went out and got this big win against LSU. Now, is LSU the team that we've been used to seeing and kind of grown to love? I don't know. However, Ole Miss is in the top 5. Now, I do have, my top 5 really doesn't round out that way like that. I don't really like Oklahoma. I get why Oklahoma is in the top 5, but they got bigger fish to fry. John Mateer, their quarterback, he's going to be out for several weeks after having his hand injury. So that's going to play a big part. Let's see, can Ole Miss keep up this ranking? But let's go through this top 25 because we got some good stuff in here, okay? Ole Miss at 5, Texas A&M at 6. They beat my Auburn War Eagles. 7 is Penn State. They dropped 4 spots. I think it's okay. They probably really could be the number 10 team. They got problems on the offensive side. Offense is just not explosive. They have the same theory when we talk about the University of Miami, Mario Cristobal, 4 yards in a cloud of dust, and then we'll figure it out when we get the 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2. They don't have any explosiveness from their quarterback position. I think that's just going to hold them back. Indiana, Texas at 9. Alabama is ranked 10 after the big win after Georgia, up 7 spots from last week. You got look at Texas Tech. Now, I want everybody to hear me on this. I'm a big believer in Texas Tech. We don't know because they're going to have to play stiffer competition. They've already been in the Big 12. They got a big win last week, 2 weeks ago. But now let's see as the schedule gets a little stiffer, right? LSU dropped 9 spots. Before we get to LSU, Georgia dropped 7 spots to the number 12 spot. Now, it's still time. Still time for Georgia to be the team who they really want to be. It's going to be a great season for SEC football, I tell you that. LSU is coming in at number 13. They dropped 9 spots. Iowa State, I really like Tennessee. Tennessee 4-1, had a big win last week, overtime win that they finally ended up getting out of Mississippi State. And that's a hard place to play. Shout out to Jeff Levy. He's done a great job with transforming what Mississippi State really means, right? These guys are competitive. They had a big win against Arizona State early in the year. And a lot of people have Sam Levitt, the quarterback for Arizona State, as a Heisman front runner the first 2 weeks of the season. So we see how that came out. That's a team that's definitely getting better. 19, Missouri. 20 is Michigan. And I want to say this, number 21, this is the biggest one that I have a problem with out of the top 25. and I'm sure you feel the same way too. How in the hell is Notre Dame 2-2, ranked number 21 in the nation? Like, come on, man. Make that make sense. Hold on. They're the only 2-win team in the top 25. Is it because of touchdown Jesus? Is it? I don't know. I'm just looking for answers. Don't shoot the messenger. Just answer my questions. Let me know. Make that make sense. It don't make sense to me. 2 losses. They definitely should, at best, they should be 25. And you can put Arizona State in front of them versus having Arizona State at number 25. And then Virginia, they're doing a good job. A lot of people haven't really recognized them. They're 4-1. They're coming in at number 24. So that's my top 25. Now, I want to ask you, who do you feel like needs to be in that spot that Notre Dame is holding up? Let me know in the comments. It's debatable, and we can have a nice discussion over a nice cold adult beverage, better known as a cab, in the Behind the Mask Studios. Oh, that boy got hands like butter. Anyway, make sure you subscribe to the BTM Podcast on all social media platforms. And if you like the content, please let us know. If you want to hear something that you did not hear, holla at your boy. We gonna make sure we get it in the next episode, and we gonna give you credit for it, because we believe as a community we grow together at the BTM Podcast.
Behind the Mask.